please just read it. Okay. So let us now proceed with the results. As presented on this table, it is very clear that educators face financial challenges in participating in research conferences and publishing their work. And this is due to costly registration and publication fees, limited budgets, and a lack of awareness about funding opportunities. However, this is very important. However, it is a fact that there are numerous free of charge conferences available, including this one, what we are having right now. And there is also a plethora of free to publish research journals. I'll just give you some examples. Examples are the Tourism and Sustainable Development Review, the Journal of Global Awareness, and the Journal of New Approaches in Educational Research, which, by the way, is Scopus Index. So there are many journals out there that do not charge publication fees. So with that being said, this indicates that limited finances are not really a significant obstacle for educators, but rather their lack of awareness about these certain opportunities, because being unaware leads them to believe that substantial financial investment is necessary for conference participation and research publication, and this is despite the availability of cost-free alternatives. Now, when it comes to their perception towards lack of awareness. Excuse me, can you please mute the microphone, please? Okay, thank you. All right, where was I? Yeah, when it comes to their perception towards lack of awareness and lack of confidence in research engagement, it was determined that educators do not perceive them as barriers. They have expressed confidence in the quality of their research papers, and they believe that they are likely to be accepted for presentation and publication. And this indicates that educators are actually willing and are capable of presenting their research and having it published if only they are given the opportunity. Okay, so moving on, this is where it gets more exciting. I did interviews, right? I've mentioned earlier that I did some structured interviews. So here is the qualitative part of my study. So through the interviews, I have discovered that limited research engagement is also due to time constraints caused by, excuse me, ma'am, can you please mute your phone, your microphone? Okay, there's an ongoing presentation. Thank you. I would appreciate it very much. Okay, yeah. Where was I? Yeah, the limited research engagement is also due to time constraints caused by heavy workloads and personal responsibilities at home, which are backed up by a lot of studies. There is, however, another barrier that I was able to identify or determine in maximizing the research publication of Filipino educators. And this is the systemic bias of HEIs, not all, but many HEIs, in favor of journals indexed in Web of Science and Scopus, as expressed by a number of respondents. This policy of HEIs actually results in demotivated educators. Why? Because most of the top-tier journals indexed in Scopus and WAS require higher publication fees and have tighter competition. And this results in demotivation because first we have to understand not everyone has the financial capability. And second, not all research meets the very high standard of top journals. And we have to accept that we have different levels of intelligence and skills. Therefore, there are papers that are really not as good as others. So whatever they do, they don't stand a chance, against papers that are also submitted in this top-tier journals just because of the quality. Okay, additionally, this policy rejects the existence of other reputable indexing databases. In fact, in an article by Elsevier, which is the owner of Scopus, other indexing databases were listed as reputable. The article of Elsevier has included DOAJ, PubMed Central, and Medline. So if Elsevier, the owner of Scopus, is telling us that there are other indexing databases that are reputable, then why do many HEIs limit the publication of their faculty members to Scopus and WAS index journals? It doesn't make sense, really. Now, if HEIs will argue that, well, it is just a guideline or a policy to ensure reputation, then the more questionable the policy is, because research is not about who is the best, who is ranked number 1 or ranked number 2, and so on and so forth. Research is all about being able to contribute to the field or in general to society. It is not a competition where we have to rank everything. So that really makes the policy more contentious, right? Furthermore, this policy of being biased in favor of Scopus will make educators vulnerable to predatory journals. Yes, you've heard it right, predatory journals. Because do you know that hundreds of predatory journals were found indexed in Scopus? And this only means that basing on the journal's indexation is not enough to tell the legitimacy of a journal, which is the opposite to what many HEIs are suggesting. So it is therefore clear that this policy or this kind of bias is something that we must correct in the future. Lastly, in reference to the sources relied on by the educators to obtain information about professional development opportunities and research, which are social media, the research office of their HEIs and professional organizations, it seems that there is a heavy emphasis on research engagement that require payment. Several research directors, deans, and professional organizations often promote paid conferences and research journals to their faculty members. And this actually displays the practice of commodification of research in the Philippines. While let's give them, a benefit of the doubt, while another explanation for it is probably because HEIs and professional organizations also lack knowledge about research conferences that charge nothing, as well as research journals that are fully funded. But then again, maybe they are just using research for business purposes. Okay, someone chatted. Is it for me? Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so finally, for my recommendations, I believe that there is a need for a massive awareness campaign to inform educators about research engagement opportunities that do not require or require less financial resources. This action, I believe, could potentially result in more motivated educators towards research. I also recommend reallocation of the research budget of HEIs to CHED so that it could finance research conferences instead of awarding grants to individual faculty members. Apart from this, I have more very important recommendations, including a research strategic direction plan for HEIs and pointers for the development of a new and inclusive research engagement and productivity assessment policy. In fact, apart from recommendations, there are also more things that this study has provided insights to, such as malpractices in citations, flaws of Google Scholar metrics as a measure of research impact, and authorship improprieties, among many others. But with the limited time we have, I cannot discuss them anymore. Nevertheless, sooner or later, this research will be published in a journal. So I hope that you will find time to read it. So this ends my presentation. I'd like to extend my gratitude to De La Salle Lipa, and I would like to commend all of the committee members for your dedication in promoting research on a national scale. Also, please allow me to grab this opportunity for everybody who is listening. If you want to connect with me for possible collaboration or partnership in the future, or maybe you want me to present or give a speech at your institution, here are my contact details. I am also accepting consultancy. So if your institution is in need of a consultant for research engagement and productivity, you may contact me as well. Okay. So again, thank you very much and have a great day, everyone.